Hey, Axis and Allies players, the good captain here, and welcome to the end of round 11 and the better part of CP's turn 12 in Axis and Allies 1914. Okay, show history, let's review the Italian turn. The Italians purchased 6 infantry. How are they still making this much money? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right, they have this one over here, 13, but 6 infantry. I'll do this live. I'm going to check their last. So they saved 2, and they had Albania and Venice. Okay, that's how you get it. Not anymore, though. So that should be, hopefully, the last time we see that much money for the Italians. So they buy 6 infantry. Combat move. This is interesting. They lift out the infantry units in Smyrna. Apparently the writing is on the wall, right? Rome is threatened. French have moved assets in. Now the Italians are consolidating their forces. They place their 6 infantry. Very, very easy, boring turn. The Americans, this is interesting. Okay, the American turn, interesting. The Americans, 2 more transports and 4 ground units. So this guy will now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 American transports. Wow. Jeez. Wow. Okay, and then there's a big old shuck push as stuff flies around the map, back and forth, back and forth. So he moves the American assets that were in Piedmont into Smyrna. So he's building up the American forces here. He's building them up. Okay. And then these forces that he brings forward are dropped into Tuscany, not Piedmont. Okay. And then he prepares the next wave and lands them in Spanish Morocco. So, yeah, it's 5. I don't know. It's just not how it's so not how I play the USA or have seen it played. So interesting. Places his units, turn complete. I just don't understand this. There's so many transports. Seems like too many, but there is an effect. It is like I was studying what to do on my Austro-Hungarian turn, and his ability to sea lift in such a large force wherever it's become like this massive quick reaction force. You can instantly deploy the whole thing anywhere there's a hot spot. So it is influencing my decision-making process, to be sure. All right. So here we are with Austria-Hungary's turn. And we are going to purchase a fighter and all infantry, all spent. We need a good, strong supply train of troops to replace the losses that we anticipate we will incur. Now, I have studied this off screen a lot, and I have determined that, I guess we'll start here in the West. I could start the drive on Rome, but I don't know how well that's going to go. I mean, it will go well or well-ish, but we're dealing with the strong France strategy, and we kind of took it on the nose as Germany up here. So, man, and another thing is this Tuscany thing has turned into Fruit Loops, and I think my thoughts and feelings on that are pretty well known. So, and then finally, the thing that is, I've already made the decision, so I'm kind of talking my audience into this, but you know, the odds are, if I attack this Switzerland force, which is what I'm going to do, And I'm going to bring one airplane to boost my artillery. There's no air assets over here. He's gone air-free ever since the defeat of the French. I actually wonder if he'll ever try to build anything back. 10 German planes. I don't know. Anyway, so I've got 6 armor here, and now he sent this nice little force into Switzerland to dispatch those Germans, and he did with no casualties. But this is a nice little boon. That's what is that? 37 IPCs. 27 plus 12 is 39, 40, 41, 42. Oh, it's 43 IPCs. Wow. And I think I can just take that. I think I can just wipe that off the map. Because you know, he's got 10 3 defenders and 2 1 defenders. So that's 5 hits, maybe 6 hits if he's lucky. And lo and behold, I have 6 armor. So this is a stomp of 43 IPCs. I gain an IPC, he loses an IPC, that's Switzerland. And yeah, that's what we kind of need to do. Oh, I already spent the money because the TUV is still, what did I have, 42, so that's 96, 06, 16, so I'm still like 22 IPC deficit every turn. I need to, you know, my land, the total unit value for land units is in my favor. I think actually I haven't run it in a while, but it should be just by my experience with these with other games. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. It beats up on France some more. It reduces. We eliminated all his air assets. This will reduce all but one of his armor assets. So France will be down to infantry and artillery, and they'll be put back on their heels. And you know, notice there's not a ton of stuff over here in France. They've got the British, a sizable force, but we're concentrated in a way that I really kind of like over here, so I'm going to try to tee this up. We have, to win this game, the CP needs 2 capitals, and one of them has to be Paris. We have Moscow. Why not put pressure on Paris? I usually get a concession from if I win as a CP once Rome falls, but I don't know. Like let's try pushing on Paris. At least make him move around a little. I don't know. But I just like this attack. There's a lot more I like about it than I don't like about it. So 32 infantry, 10 artillery, 6 armor, and 1 fighter into Switzerland. Okay, and now we have to solve the problems in the east. First, some basic stuff. I'm going to just leave a blocker in Tatarstan. So, and then I'll move 1 infantry into Romania. So it's 2-1. I just like to keep a buffer on that artillery. Okay, and then Bulgaria. This guy pretty much has to move to Constantinople because I want to bring a fighter in, and that will guarantee air superiority. Or there's air superiority. I have 4 fighters now to his 2 that he can bring to bear. And this is important because I have 12 artilleries. I want 12 4 defenders, not 12 3 defenders. And by having 4 fighters, I have a 96% chance that I win the air supremacy battle, or I win air supremacy if he comes in with his fighters, versus like an 82% if I only have 3. So I could bring in more, but I'm not going to. Why? Because the British have an attack option, or a push option, I should say, into Sevastopol. They could bring 7 infantry, 3 artillery, and armor, and they can bring 1, 2, 3 fighters. So I want to at least deter him from doing that, or make him think twice by stationing 3 fighters right here. They're not really needed anywhere else immediately, so we'll call that good. And I've decided to send 5 infantry units down here. After this turn, I suspect the Ottomans will only be producing 1 infantry per turn. I think the British are probably going to attack. I guess we'll see. So yeah, 5, maybe sending 5 a turn, help boost them. So 5, if they're producing 1 more, that's 6. It looks like he's producing 6 pieces a turn, 6 or 7 pieces a turn. So maybe we can keep it going. And then so I'll chain an infantry in per turn here, and just sort of keep things going. As for these assets in Trieste, I think mostly they're just going to stay there. I think what I'm going to do with Albania is put. I'll just leave 2 in as blockers. So it'll be, he's got 2 there. I'll have 2 there as well. And then this guy will come out. Okay. And then I kind of made the decision that 8-2 with an armor looks good in Trieste, and I'll put a big fat 15 infantry in Tyrolia. I liked it. Oh, that's right. And I wanted to move 2 artillery from Romania to Serbia. So let me discuss this very briefly, and then we'll execute the attacks, or attack, singular. 8 infantry, 2 artillery. That's probably enough to deter a full-on American push up into this area. They'd have to run the minefield. There are 7 transports and a battleship. That's up to 14 pieces plus the battleship, so 15-piece attack. I have an 11-piece defense. And he has to run the gauntlet of the offshore bombardment, so it's very likely it'll be a 10-piece attack versus, or sorry, a 14-point attack versus an 11-point defense. So that's probably okay. I'm worried about, eventually I probably want to close off this ulcerous sore in Albania, and so I bring over 2 artillery from Serbia. So I have 4 barrels in the local area available for counterattack. Otherwise, this will probably be the last turn where I can really ignore this area of the board. I'm probably going to have to start sending 5 or 6 infantry down here per turn to try to keep Constantinople up, or if it falls or it looks like it's not viable to keep it propped up, you know, an intentional retreat to Bulgaria, and we'll have to start building up an army in this area of the board to contain the British for as long as possible while we beat down the Western Allies. At least that's the idea. Okay, way too much talking. Yeah, so at any rate, that's what we're going to try to do. Yeah. Yep. That's it. Okay, let's see if this works. If they have a hot roll, they might actually hit an infantry or 2. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Smashed them, good. Oh, God, they didn't even get to 6. I mean, the average roll would have been 5 or 6. So I guess if you're gonna roll bad when you had no real. Okay, that's kind of ridiculous, but it didn't matter in the end. Okay, and actually, it's better to just add the hits in because they don't absorb hits on defense, and they reset at the top of your next turn in this AAA game. So, okay, there, we notionally gave him 4 more hits. We'll turn these 2 back to Austrians in Albania, and then proceed to Germany's turn. Okay, place the units. 41, right, okay. The Austro-Hungarians, we rolled under 5 and the French rolled under 3. That's hilarious. You know, thank God that didn't matter. Thank God that was not a critical battle. Isn't that interesting, though? All right, and now we move to, yeah, the Russians, but I'm just going to skip this turn. I have a deal with him. If he wants to do anything, he can retroactively say he did something. Okay. In this one, I think I wanted all infantry, but I think I settled on actually clipping 2 of them to swap it for an armor. I don't know. Sure, why not? I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter. No, I don't want that armor. It probably doesn't matter, but okay. Up here, I'm going to take this transport. I want to load 1 infantry from Berlin and drop him into Finland. And next turn, I'm going to pull off 1 artillery and bring it back to Berlin. And that's just to kind of tighten up and smarten up this defensive line up here. There's nothing better for him to do anyway, so might as well make everything a little more efficient. Okay, and then here it's pretty obvious we have to consolidate in Alsace to help our allies to the south. We also need to put a German infantry in Munich, and that's to allow operational flexibility, that even if the French attack us, we can still put a piece somewhere to allow the Germans an option to escape south or east or wherever. So that can't be, it's one of the little hidden gems you learn after playing many, many games. So yeah, everyone else will consolidate here. Yeah, I'll put a piece here for giggles, and then everyone else comes here. And the Navy will stay put for the time being. For the time being. We have latent plans for this Navy, but for now, I think that we will allow the British to continue to reinforce their little group in Belgium unmolested. So, cycle through. Yeah. Okay, actually, nah, I'm gonna leave all the tanks up there. No, I don't wanna. I was gonna pull in an armor back, but nah. Yeah, that's as good as we could. I think that's as good as we can go. As good as we can be. So yeah, done out. Okay, and it doesn't matter if he gets a hit or not because we have tons of armor. Fix the tanks. Tanks fixed. All units have been moved. Done out. And drop in our 15 infantry. Okay, and then I'll post the turn. And at our best look, we're still what 20 under. And you know, I don't. If I really wanted to be thorough, I'd have to backstack the Entente powers and see if they saved any IPCs. So it's probably about 20, maybe a shade under, maybe 17, 18, 19. So, but it'll wash out. I mean, once the French spend this money on their next turn and then collect, it'll start to wash out a bit. So we are slowly but surely reducing that gap. The defense of Constantinople should go well for us the first turn or two, I think. And we've got reinforcements feeding into it for the time being. So a trickle for now. It might be a stream later, depending on how bad or how well things go for the Entente. That's it. Thanks for watching. All the best from the good captain, and bye-bye.